Yeah. It's my camera.
Yeah, nice.
Can we find camera master here? Hello.
Who is that?
You know this guy? He's my English teacher. He's my English teacher.
my English teacher.
Please tell me he's camera master. Where is he?
Find him, please.
I have not seen him.
I didn't see him. Please help us to find him.
If I see him, I will tell you.
Okay.
How will you tell us?
Hey,
How will you tell us?
I will come and find you.
How?
I will come and walk.
No, you can find us in Cinema Theatres on Feb 15th.
Okay.
Okay, there you can find us. Then
Please
you
come
can
and-
make him meet us.
Okay, I will tell. I will come.
Okay. Yeah, please help us.
Okay.
Where are you from?
England.
England. We are from India.
What is this?
Tattoo.
What is this? Auntie.
Sunglasses.
Can I?
You can try, yeah.
Yeah.
What is this?
Master.
Camera.
Camera means?
What is this?
Camera means?
Take photo.
Photos.
Photo, yeah.
Photo means?
Oh, what? What is this?
Photo.
Clothing.
Photo. Super.
Why are you? You're fair outside. Why are you dark in this?
Protect your eyes.
Yeah, sorry. No, no, man. I like it. No, I like it.
They shoot you.
Like same color.
They shoot you. They protect your eyes in the sun.
Wow.
Oh,
How are you? You look it like me.
like this.
Almost like you.
Yeah. I like it. I like. Can I?
Both are same.
I like it.
You like them? They're good, eh?
Hey, ring good.
Huh?
Ring good.
Ring, my ring is good. My earring.
It's good.
Why you not have one?
I don't know. What is ring?
He has one here, look. He has one.
He has ring?
If I find him, I will show you.
Sir, actually he doesn't know English. He doesn't know English.
But I thought he was an English teacher.
Yes, he's an English teacher, but he teaches social studies.
But if he teaches English, how does he not know English?
Yes, that's what we are waiting for him actually. He doesn't know English.
Okay,
He doesn't know English. There is an exam in 5th, 16th
okay.
for us. Thank you. If you find, please.
Yeah.
Have a nice.
I will tell.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye. Well, that was random. I was just sat taking photos, ready to introduce the video, and that was probably the best introduction I could get. Right now, I'm in a place in Hyderabad called HiTech City. And so if you would have watched the last video, you would know that I made a clear point that I want to represent and show both sides of not only Hyderabad, but of India. So the India that you may know will be typical tuk-tuks, street food, you know, maybe chaos and noise. And that's not to say that this is not noisy. However, you can get a glimpse looking in of the big buildings, and you know, we've got an IKEA here, and so there is a modern side to India. And so I've come to the HiTech City to have a look around, have a wander, and just kind of give you a glimpse as to the industry and the burgeoning technology side of India as well. There's huge corporations and businesses investing very heavily into Hyderabad, and the word is that this is going to overtake Bangalore at some point as the Silicon Valley of India. Microsoft, Amazon, companies like that, they're investing heavily and actually building their biggest bases outside of the US, right here in Hyderabad. So you get a real feel when you're walking around of, you know, educated people, you know, who work in software and finance and other industries like that. And so I really want to show that side of Hyderabad. So let's go for a walk, let's see what we can find, and yeah, let's just get a glimpse of the more impressive modern side of this city. Now I'm kind of just going on a whim here, no idea where I'm walking to. It's not like Charminar where you've kind of got a, you know, one destination that you're looking for. You're looking for, you know, the old buildings. Here, it's kind of just a mooch around. I'm just walking, and I'm just going to show you as we go. But this is an immediate great vantage point here, because you see, obviously we've got the busy road, but then look over here. Just look at all of the huge modern buildings. Now, I was pretty disappointed on the way in because I got a scooter a motor via Uber. That seems to be the best way to get around this city if you're traveling on your own. It's very convenient, very quick. It can weave in and out of traffic, and it's very, very cheap. So I just came from Jubilee Hills, and it cost me 65 rupees, which is kind of around about 65p, maybe 80 cents, something like that. And on the way in, I could see all of the development. Incredible building work going on. The scale of it and the design, like it's very modern, you know, very unique. So I go to get the GoPro out. Figure I didn't plan on starting the video here, but I'll show you on the way in. And I didn't put the battery into the GoPro, I had it in my pocket. So we missed that. Hopefully we'll perhaps catch it in this video. But yeah, look at it, it's very impressive. Very, very impressive. I think now, being my third trip to India, I'm now finally getting it. I'm finally getting India. You know, you come here the first time, at least from my experience, and the second time, and you really put a lot of focus into seeing the India that you see in the old movies, in the documentaries, in the news. You know, you want to, and it's fascinating, don't get me wrong, it really is. You want to see the chaos. But for Indian people, there's much more to India than that. There's a side of India which they're very proud of, and there's a side of India which is changing. It's moving away from that old stereotypical style, and you see that very clearly here. And you know, now I'm really keen to show that, so let's keep looking. All right, well, I've just had my first introduction with security. Apparently no photos or video is allowed up there. Now what the reason for that is, I'm not sure, but we'll continue. I tried to ask where the best places to go were for walking around and seeing big buildings and things, but they didn't speak any English. All they knew was no photo. So we'll continue. The size of this building site. Wow. That's some scale, that. Kind of gives you an idea as to the amount of investment they're putting into this area. Like, that is enormous. Coming in on the Uber ride as well, really you could see the amount of excavation they were having to do to make these buildings. Seems like this is kind of built on a hillside area. It's very, very rocky, so there's a lot of demolition work, a lot of groundwork preparation to be done to build these places. So there's an enormous amount of work going into it. It's very impressive, really impressive. Now obviously when you've got a middle class emerging, people with now a considerable disposable income, you get all kinds of other enterprises that come with that, including higher end restaurants, very nice shops for clothes and home furnishings, and the usual things that we would kind of treat as maybe normal in the West. And along with that, you also get bars. What I've noticed in this area, particularly close to where I'm staying in Jubilee Hills, there's a lot of breweries. So these are bars which brew their own ale, IPAs and beers. And I went in one the other day. It was, I forget the name of it, I'll put it at the bottom here, but it was really impressive. Very, very impressive. And the prices were in line with Western prices, so it kind of gives you an idea of the income that perhaps some people are earning here. It's on par with us in the West. Nice little cake shop. So some people here, at least, are having a very good standard of living. And I've really begun to notice more and more with every visit to India of the development. And not only the development, but the sheer amount of people that are now starting to appear in the middle class. My first time to India, I perhaps didn't notice it. Maybe I wasn't looking for it, but I certainly didn't sense it. Not as much as now. Whereas now, my eyes are very open to it. Even things like being overseas, being in the Maldives, being in other countries, you see more and more Indian tourists. You know, they're not just now coming to visit family, they're coming for holidays. They've got income, they've got money, they've got good jobs. And you can see here now that India is becoming a place for the well-educated people to actually stay. I think perhaps in the past, a lot of well-educated Indians would perhaps move overseas to the States or the UK or wherever. There's no need to as much now. You know, there's industry here for them. Now, one thing that I've received a lot of stick for in the past, particularly with exploring Delhi, is not showing the more modern side. So in Delhi, being another gargantuan city, you know, it's not all Chandi Chowk and the Red Fort and these other places. You know, it has modern areas, as Aero City, and I have been to them places, I've just not shown it on video, which is probably a little bit unfair. So Hyderabad has got its own version. We've got HiTech City here. As you can see, the buildings they're impressive. The skyline is immense. Very impressed. So I feel bad for the previous times coming to India, making videos and not necessarily showing the things that Indians want the outside world to see. There is modernity here. They do have good services, they do have good plumbing, you know, they do have good Wi-Fi. It's not all slums, it's not all street food. You know, India is a burgeoning economy, and from my perspective, walking around, looking, just seeing it, look at the scale of it. There's no doubt in my mind that this will spread all across India. Eventually, it's a vast country, but when wealth comes in, it spreads. And I think perhaps in the next 10, 20, 30 years, the India that people have a perception of, that's going to start to fade, I think. So what a wonderful time to come to India and start to witness this transition, you know. You get an appreciation now for why a lot of the Western politicians are really cozying up to the Indian politicians. Modi is the leader here at the minute, because they know that India is going to be, and it already is, but it's going to be a really big player in the world stage. They're going to have a big voice in terms of world economics. Again, you've got a middle class and an upper class with a lot of disposable income, so they are now potential customers for a lot of these companies. Hence the likes of Microsoft and Amazon and other players basing themselves here. So yeah, India is changing. I've noticed it change a lot just since my first visit, which was 7 years ago. And each time I come now, the more I explore, the more I get to really kind of appreciate what's going on here. And look, you can't really tell from here, but this building work on the other side is gargantuan. Serious money. That's interesting. Hey. Huh? What do you want? Oh, you want a selfie? Okay. Here? Okay. You want with this or with that? With this? Okay. Hold on. I will send it to WhatsApp on you, yeah, no problem. Bye-bye. I used to think that everyone was approaching for selfies. Well, a lot of them actually just, they see my camera and they want a photo of themselves. They're like, take a photo of me. Which is good for me because I like taking photos of people, you know? So it's kind of a good bargaining. I get them to take the photo, I send it to them, and I get to keep the photo as well. But what a place though. It's stifling hot as well. It's absolutely scorching. And to think that this is their winter at the minute. I don't think I've actually been in India in the summer. I can't imagine just how hot and humid it must be. Currently, I don't really have an idea where I'm walking to. Oh shit. I was nearly tripping, never mind walking. Jeez. Buildings are massive. Okay, I mean JP Morgan and Chase. Show you how big that is. My bank. There's my bank. And it's right there in India. You only have to look at the cars as well. Coming here in the on the scooter, I actually passed a Bentley garage, and I saw some Lamborghinis as well. So there's definitely some very, very wealthy people here. We've got up here this advertisement for the new iPhone 15. Just a few years ago, something like that would have been pretty out of reach for a lot of Indians. You know, iPhones, Apple products, they're expensive. A lot of people here have phones, but they tend to have like Oppo. That's like the more affordable brand. But people want iPhone. They see that as a status symbol. And it's evidently becoming more accessible for a lot of people now with these advertisements. Look at this, like, the architecture here is so impressive. Really, really impressed with it. This building with all the plants growing on it, that's fantastic. That to me is what modern architecture should be. Architecture is meant to be, you know, integration with the environment and with the landscape. And so I really love these designs where there's plant life growing in the building. Especially important for places like India, where it's, you know, it's well known that there are air quality issues. So to see something like that, yeah, it's really good to see. What this building is there though, with that bar or whatever that is up there, looks really nice. I'm heading down currently, according to Google Maps, towards the lake. Crossed over this bridge on the bike before and it was very impressive. So I'm hoping somewhere around here there'll be a nice viewpoint of this lake, of the bridge, and just the general architecture around here. What I have noticed in this area, there's an enormous amount of security for all the buildings, rightfully so. And there's also a big effort to clean the streets. That's very nice to see. You know, something like that, hopefully at some point will kind of be pushed out into the other areas of the city. But, you know, with more development, that will come. Over time, things will change. But around here, yeah, really impressive. Nice tree. still a little bit manic. It's definitely manageable. You know, at the end of the day, you've got a population of 1.4 billion. What do you expect, you know? It's hard to avoid something like that. I like to go over here though. That looks like it'll be an interesting place to go and see. So let's cross. Probably the worst place in the world to cross the road. And try and sneak in that gap there, I reckon. Right. Get ready. Get ready. Say get ready, there's no gap. Right, after this one. Let's go. Let's go. Get in this gap. Yeah, buddy. This here does not quite fit in with the India that I was trying to show, but the lake is really beautiful. The bridge is very impressive as well, some serious engineering that. Now, the question is, where does this lead us to? I don't want to keep checking my phone because my battery is running out extremely quickly. Hopefully there's somewhere down here. Okay. Seems like this area is still under construction, so we've walked into a little bit of a building site, but you can see their intentions. Nice. Yeah, it's nice. But you look at this, obviously this side of the lake over here is more the traditional type of buildings that you might expect to see, and then you turn around. I mean, this is not the best vantage point, but you start to see the big buildings that we've been seeing. You know, this modern bridge leading over. So I think what we'll do, I think I've given you a little bit enough of an insight as to this area. I'm going to go and check out the mall. I'm not sure whether I can even show that or whether it's even worth seeing. But after that, we'll go and check out a brewery because this hot weather is making me fancy a beer. So let's go.